In today's society, the role of schools has expanded beyond just education. In many countries, schools, in addition to providing a relevant and quality education for children, are expected to address broader social welfare issues and, in some instances, to compensate for disintegrating family structures and societal values. In South Africa, the challenges of poverty and societal shifts impact directly on the quality of teaching and learning in the classroom.
80% of our parents are unemployed, and there are still more and more informal settlements that are coming up just here at the back of the school. So we are teaching under very difficult situations. We have many other challenges like break-ins, vandalism at school, that sometimes make it unbearable for our teachers.
The other thing that is a problem with the learners that we're having is the high rate of HIV and AIDS infections. And I can also mention to say in almost one in every class, especially the foundation phase, you will get a child that is HIV infected, and that's the problem that we are facing. And we're also having plus minus 235 orphans in our schools, and that also leads to houses that are led or that are had by also other children.
While some external support is provided to schools to address these challenges, the onus is on the schools to improve themselves. Problem areas are identified and remedied via a process of whole school development. The GMSA Foundation model for whole school development is unique in that it addresses the deeper issues related to sustainable change. The model was developed within the Foundation's framework of piloting, evaluating, refining, and sharing, with the resulting materials and guidelines being made available to interested implementation agencies. In 2003, the Learning Schools pilot project was initiated to explore the deeper dynamics of whole school development. This model centers on the holistic development and achievement of the learner as the ultimate goal of school performance and development. External support is important to the extent that it assists the schools to fulfill this goal. The Learning Schools model accounts for the fact that each school requires a unique intervention strategy, which is formulated after an in-depth consultation with staff and a whole school evaluation linked to national policy. Schools are encouraged to sustain this process through a cycle of action learning. This DVD documents the experiences of B.J. Mayanda, Stephen Mazangula, Cederberg, and Fontaine on their journey of transformation. These schools are all situated in historically disadvantaged areas in Port Elizabeth. Within the context of these schools, we will be looking at the key mechanisms identified by the Learning Schools Initiative as being critical for whole school development. They are vision crafting, personal and professional leadership development, teaching and learning support, and priority project planning and implementation. The first phase of the Learning Schools model involves a vision crafting session with each school.
We had a vision and a mission for the school, but we revisited that after getting involved with the foundation.
These sessions were designed in a way so as to motivate and inspire school communities to embrace change and work together to improve their schools. A mentor was appointed to work alongside each school management team in this process. Leadership development is key to school development.
I never thought that, as a leader you must do certain things, but I never thought how important it is to develop as a leader. If you go into a leadership position, you first have to do some training in this direction before you do any management. Because management skills are easily learned, but not leadership skills.
In 2006, the Learning Skills Initiative launched a leadership intervention with a difference in that it has a strong personal development and restorative practice focus.
When I have hurt somebody, could be a long way away, it could be recently, something I've done that's caused harm. What might I have needed, or what might I need now to enable me to move on?
This has been named the Personal and Professional Leadership Development Program and is currently offered to the school management teams of the 4 schools. Core aspects of the program are self-awareness and confidence building, assertiveness training, conflict management, mediation, and communication skills.
The program has sort of forced me to look at myself professionally and personally. Somehow I've developed into a person, I would say, that expresses himself more verbally, and I'm trying to be more direct these days. And I can say that I have grown a lot.
I'm that type of a person who wouldn't contribute even at the staff meetings and all. So now, since I'm involved in the program, now at least I've got that confidence, at least I can contribute.
As a deputy principal of the school, sometimes you are forced to handle cases on behalf of the principal. Now I used to panic, but now since now I have been involved in this program, it is easy for me to handle any kind of case.
I have grown so much, you know. I'm more focused. I don't get cross that easily like I used to, but it has been a tremendous learning experience for me as a person, personally and professionally.
School management teams from the schools attend a block of workshops each term and then share what they have learned with other staff in their own school and sometimes with other schools.
As S&T, we felt that we don't want other colleagues to sort of wonder what's happening at this program, basically. And we immediately went to run workshops. And the first encounter was negativity. But at the end of the day, everything came out very, very positive.
Demands placed on teachers cause stress and low morale.
We really have a burden, and sometimes it makes you think twice to say, why am I here? Am I supposed to be doing all what I'm doing now? Do I have to be a soldier here? Do I have to be, am I a teacher or am I a nurse, you know? And it's really a burden.
If a learner comes to you and says, look, I'm pregnant, it has to be confidential. And you as the educator is not allowed to go and tell her parents unless she gives you permission to do something. So the challenges are becoming enormous.
As part of this program, individual encounters were also provided to raise teacher morale.
Something else that we've brought in is a period of individual encounters, and that's been a voluntary option for schools, so that educators who would like to are able to avail themselves of having individual meetings with me as a facilitator to talk more about the narrative. And I think this has been incredibly valuable. It allows for expansion on some of the things that have been written about, some of the reflections that have happened, and also gives me an opportunity to ask, you know, on that individual level, how's the program been for you? Anything it's made you think about? And my sense is that's been hugely valuable.
The narrative prior to it a while was also a stress reliever because we got time to air out all what you heard all these years. And at work, we've got no time to share those things. We are very much busy.
I think the narrative with Vel relieved me a lot because it gave me an opportunity to say what was inside myself. Because I was so stressful about the death of my brother. And the minute I told Vel about my brother, and Vel consoled me, I became so relieved.
Val was also able to tell me or to advise me how to talk to those quiet voices, that are there, that are telling you that you are not going to be able to make it, and after that, I felt strong.
Teaching and learning support is provided in different ways in response to each school's needs. 2 curriculum advisors work with the schools to meet these needs through teacher workshops and individual learner assessments.
Sabina and I are currently screening children. Once we've finished with the screening process, we will try to assist the teachers and give them some ideas on various interventions that can take place to help the children with the problems.
These 2 advisors work closely with the District Department of Education to ensure that they complement and support departmental interventions.
We are liaising with Louise J at the District-Based Support Centre, and she's going to help us to sort of work out some teaching strategies for the teachers and classroom strategies that they will be able to use with helping the children.
Barriers to learning and literacy have been identified as key intervention areas, and various ways of supporting the schools to address these are being introduced.
The first thing you have to do is to figure out why the child is actually experiencing the reading problems, whether his perceptual skills have been fully developed. What I've been doing is I've just been testing to find out whether the child is aware of the left-right side of his body. Knowing the left side to the right side, if a child has difficulty with that, you'll find that they also have difficulty with reading, because then they cannot read, from left to right.
We may select small groups that we will work with ourselves and assist with the learning problems, but in general we'd like to see the teachers helping the children themselves in the classrooms. So we will be working on helping them develop worksheets, maybe develop some workbooks, and developing various teaching strategies that they will be using in the classrooms themselves.
School development projects are also a key component of the Learning Schools initiative. Due to time constraints and teacher workloads, each school selects 1 or 2 priority projects for a given year.
Our project is Bright and Lovely. Bright and Lovely is a painting project. We met as a committee, and then we also invited the SGB and talked about this project.
My belief is if the outside appearance is not attracting the people, that means what you will get inside is not good.
And the school has not been painted for more than 10 years. So we decided that we make this project be the priority.
It was essential for us due to our lack of funds that we had to reach out to outside stakeholders and the general public, and it's for that reason that we wrote a few letters and drew up a proposal in order to bring some others on board to help us, assist us with finances and expertise. Without these people, and we need to mention them, they've made it possible for us to have a school in such a beautiful state as it is today.
We decided to build the jungle gym. As you can see, we are in a very impoverished area and there are no recreational facilities around here. As the jungle gym is standing here, it was purely from donations that we received. The whole structure as it is here is about plus minus 7,000 rand.
Our school serves the impoverished communities of Jacksonville, Frans Valley, Mufasittel, Ngebafaku, and 94% of these parents are unemployed. With the result, many of these kids are coming to school with the empty tummy, and we decided the need is there for them to have at least one healthy meal per day. The garden will in future supply the soup kitchen that we initiated with the necessary food. And in order to gain more funds to buy the necessary plants, we on a weekly basis are running video shows, and that money is used to buy the plants and seedlings that you see here at the back.
But now the problem is the sitting, the chairs. were broken, and there were few because they are short even in the classrooms.
At Stephen Mazangula, the Chairs for Champs project was initiated in order to use donations to renovate old chairs for the computer room. Fontaine Primary turned a problem into an opportunity with their Spaza Shop project.
We had a problem of children who sometimes during breaks they would want to go and buy outside. That was one of the problems that we had. And we were also trying to kind of like have some control over what the children are buying. And it's very difficult not to do that if they are buying from somebody that we don't even know. We were also at the same time trying to minimize also the banking of classes, because sometimes we think they are standing there at the fence buying, and some of them will just get a way of disappearing. We saw it as a gap net that we could also generate funds for the school if we can just now operate the Spaza Shop from the school. It's working quite well. I think it has even gone probably beyond our expectations.
The journey these 4 learning schools have taken demonstrates that with the right support, internal commitment and motivation, schools can be transformed into centers of quality teaching and learning.
We must not sit here at Stephen Mazangula and say we have a problem. Let's go out, share our problems, and then we'll get solutions, irrespective of how long it takes. Bearing in mind that we have a duty, and our duty is to see to it that the children that we are working with, at the end of the day, they are able to go out. When they leave our schools, they must be able to go out and be confident and be competent, irrespective of their backgrounds.